Hello there, I'm Colleen.
I'm Anders.
And I'm Daniel.
We're three nerds that met through our love of science fiction and fantasy storytelling. Of course, one of our favorites is George Lucas's signature achievement, Star Wars.
And if there's one thing the internet definitely doesn't have enough of, it's nerds talking about Star Wars. So here we are with yet another Star Wars podcast, where each week we discuss one of the films in the current Star Wars canon.
From the sands of Tatooine to the levels of Coruscant, we cover it all. Yet another Star Wars podcast is available wherever you get your podcast and is part of the Forgotten Entertainment family.
Hello, and welcome to Recent Activity, your new favorite entertainment review podcast that attempts to cover every film, every show, all at once. I am your co-host, Andrew Morgan. With me, as always, is a man who always summons his space whales if he's ever in a jam. It's Mr. Shane Beauregard. How are you, sir?
I'm here, buddy. I can't believe you said that because I was trying to forget that whole series and episode. So you just had to go there.
Hey, at least you're caught up. That's good. Every week where I'm like, why am I doing this? But I do it.
I know.
And it gets weirder and weirder every week, Shane. So I guess the one thing of the billion things on our list that we're not going to talk about, I start with, I understand. We're no Ahsoka talk today, no Star Wars today. When I keep going back to the well trying to say, Star Wars is not Star Trek. And then I'm like, you really? We had to make a whales thing? What? Really?
In the fact they have hyperdrive, really?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
I'm pretty sure they're like a giant Bluetooth speaker too, if you activate them right. So I'm sure they got all the fancy tech, maybe a Bose system in there, something. Those whales are very crafty, very crafty. They happen to know exactly where all your friends are located. They're like low-jacked. It's wonderful. And they never move, even though they can have hyperdrive. They're exactly where you left them in case you need them.
Damn you, Andrew.
I got thoughts. All right. Speaking of our thoughts, we have a giant rundown today, kind of a mixed bag between box office-y stuff out in the movie theaters, as well as some TV shows we're catching up on or looking forward to, some trailer thoughts maybe, and then, of course, Shane ended up seeing Bottoms, so we're going to talk about that too because it's the running gag of the summer, and it's not end of summer yet. We got one more week, so I want to squeeze the last out of the juice of that conversation. But let's start with what came out the last couple of weeks because we did miss last week. Apologies to everybody. Shane's been dying, and then we have life concerns. So we're all on life support, whether it's mentally, physically, whatever. We're all just doing our best here, but we're back, and we're going to try to go through what we've been watching, including, let's start, Shane, with the number one movie at the box office for the second consecutive week. The Nun 2 came out a couple weeks ago and is still, I guess, going strong, but it's a very weak box office, so it's hard to say strong, but it is up to 161 million worldwide with 56 domestic. So it's doing well internationally. And for comparison, the last Nun movie ended up doing 365 worldwide with a 117 domestic. So is it on pace to get there? With how slow? We keep saying this, like how slow the box office or no competition. Like it's going to have a pretty solid runway up until The Exorcist, right? So we're probably talking a couple more weeks, but is that going to get them over 100 million domestic before then? I doubt it. What say you, sir?
We'll see.
You're the one who
We'll
saw
see.
it. So what do you feel about it? Do you think it has enough legs to maybe keep going? And do you think there's going to be more in this relentless universe of the offshoots of The Conjuring, right?
Right. If there is a God, they will stop this franchise. Like, seriously. No, in all seriousness, I took my daughter. She was 12. She's the only reason why I saw this movie because she's been bugging me for a couple weeks to go see it.
Right.
Now, I saw the first Nun, and I didn't like it because I don't like horror movies that solely rely on jump scares to get their point across. And that's what the first Nun was, right? It was all jump scares.
Sure.
A cheap thrill, right? This movie was... The nicest thing I could say about this movie, it was harmless.
Okay.
It was almost 2 hours long. It was slow. It was boring. Nothing happened till the last act of the movie. So like 20 minutes to go is when everything started heating up. So you have, and I don't know how to pronounce her first name, Tisa Farmiga, the sister of the younger sister of the main character in all the Conjuring movies.
Yeah, I didn't realize that was her. Yeah. Tight. Yeah, that I wouldn't know that either. So good on you for giving it the old college try.
Yeah, there you go. I can't pronounce that name. And then you have Storm Reed. If you don't know her, she was in that mall episode of The Last of Us.
Yep.
Which was kind of like a one-off. So it was fine. This movie's set in 1956. I'll just read it off to you. In France, a priest is murdered and evil is spreading. The sequel to the worldwide smash hit follows Sister Irene as she once again comes face to face with Valak, the demon nun. That's, yeah. I literally, Andrew, the first hour of this movie is all exploration.
Right.
Nothing, like literally no scares, no nothing. You have the character Maurice from the first episode, the guy who kind of helps Irene out in the first Nun.
Right.
He's kind of like the groundskeeper of this boarding school, which apparently only 5 little girls inhabit this school.
Yeah.
A pretty big place for 5 girls. And then the nun kind of like uses him as a conduit to kind of come back into this realm.
Right.
Which makes no sense. And again, an hour of just slow exploration of Irene going and trying to figure out who this nun demon is. And then you get the last act where, you know, she actually comes out and Maurice is possessed and, you know, whatever. They save Maurice and get rid of the nun. But seriously, there are no jump scares. My daughter did have her head covered several times throughout this movie. But even though we were talking about it tonight, she was, Dad, now that I think about this movie, it was really boring. And I said, yeah, well, okay.
Yeah.
So it really was pointless, aimless. It was the definition of just harmless and okay. Like, It wasn't the worst thing I've seen. I wouldn't recommend it. It's not as good as the first one, as much as I didn't like the first Nun.
Right.
It didn't live up to the first one. If they had more of the actual nun in the movie, I could understand that. But really, she doesn't really make an appearance until 3/4 of the way through the film.
Okay.
And I'm like, wow, that's a long time to kind of pull back on your main.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was harmless. I'll just give you my ranking. I gave it a 2.5. I gave it a 2.5.
Yeah, so it happened. You hope
it happened.
You don't have to keep doing this.
Right.
And that's about it.
And the way they ended this movie, I was like, okay, just like I said at the top, just kill the series. Like, it's okay.
Sure.
But for whatever reason, these movies keep making money, man. And I know it's a poor box office time right now with the selection of movies we have to see right now, but still, anything from the Conjuring universe, it like we discussed before, horror movies make money, man.
Yeah. And if people, if it, like I said, if it makes it into October and, it's not going to be blown out of the water by, well, I mean, everybody's going to be blown out of the water by Taylor Swift. We'll get to that probably another time. But, if it's not blown out of the water by the Exorcist sequel, then I would say maybe it has a little bit of a chance to kind of be, like one of those, people who seek out horror in October specifically. Like, if you can hang on and get a little of a bump, that's about the best you're going to do with this movie. But I think that's probably what they're hoping, is to just get it to the opening of The Exorcist and then let their cards lie wherever it's going to go. But so I have 2 things. One, if anybody's going to be real sad about all this, I mean, besides James Wan originally did the Conjuring starting, right? It's his universe.
He did the first movie. Yep.
Right. So he gets probably producer and character credits all over the thing and is making a truckload of money every time one of these sequels pops up, right? So he'll be sad if that goes away. Also, Michael Chavez, who directed this one, also happened to direct the Conjuring The Devil Made Me Do It. Now, did you see that as well?
God. Yes, I did.
So coin flip, or I guess it would have to be a gun to your head because you seem to be like wincing every time I mention a recent Conjuring universe movie. Which one you choose, the Nun 2 or Devil Made Me Do It?
Oh boy. Honestly, I'd probably go with The Devil Made Me Do It.
But you're not happy either way.
I'm not happy either way. I will say, just for my 2 cents, I think the best spin-off I've seen of this whole world, and I stick to my guns, it's a good scary movie, is Annabelle Creation.
Okay.
to me, that was the second best movie The Conjuring ever put out.
Right.
About the doll. It was really good. Sets itself up above The Nuns and The Devil Made Me Do It. So if you want a spin-off, go see Annabelle Creation. Very underrated movie in this whole world, the Conjuring world.
Right. And if I'm not mistaken, I'd have to double check, but if you are in the Connecticut area, which I am from, Shane is previously from, has a lot of friends and family up this way. If you're in the area, the Connecticut Horror Fest is this weekend in Hartford, and I believe has the Nun or like some of the characters from that universe in there. Not entirely sure. I don't have the list in front of me, but I know if that doesn't tickle your fancy, there's also going to be, Elvira, people from the Terrifier series. I believe the director and the person who plays Art the Clown will also be there. So a lot of cool horror stuff all happening in boring old Connecticut here. So go to Hartford. They're doing it big this year. I believe it's up at the Excel Center. So go check that out if you're in the area. Yeah, so I can see a slow death for this, but like you said, the money keeps rolling in. They're going to keep trying. Same goes with, I know you didn't see it and I didn't either, and we're probably never going to, but I'm hoping the fact that the Nun 2 beat out the opening weekend of the latest Kenneth Branagh, Agatha Christie mystery with Haunting in Venice, coming off of the dreadfully boring Death on the Nile. That was just, terrible. So, and that was a star-studded cast. This one's a very quirky cast. If anything, the fact that Tina Fey's in it made me kind of like perk up a little bit. So that's where my head was at. But, again, you come in second at the box office. You do a little bit under, I think, expectation. It was right around where they were kind of thinking.
Right.
But again, I don't think this one's gonna have the legs of previous ones, and even that estimate that they had going around was low because they were looking at Death on the Nile numbers and not Murder on the Orient Express numbers because they keep going down, down, down. So I'm hoping this is it. I can't see. And again, we keep saying long runway, no competition. I guess maybe for people who want to see adult dramas, but they're just going to be like, I'll wait for it to be on Hulu in a month,
Right.
Because that's how I watched Death on the Nile, and I was woefully disappointed. So, yeah, I'm not into it, and obviously you didn't see it either. So,
Nope.
Have you seen the others or no?
I feel the same way you did. I was like, okay, they're not my cup of tea. I found them to be very boring.
Right.
And I just, when this trailer popped up and the movie came, I'm like, man, Kenneth Branagh must really like this character because that's all he's doing now.
Uh-huh.
And I don't understand why. Like, I don't. Like, they're just not good.
Well, no one else has given him big meaty roles. He was in Oppenheimer for like a few scenes or whatever, and that's like the first thing since probably Dunkirk that I remember him wholeheartedly in. But outside of these movies, so yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you on these movies. Listen, I grew up reading her novels. I like her, but it's just they don't translate well to movies. And it's not from a lack of cast. Like you said, they do cast very well in these movies.
Well, they're just in a bad time, Shane, because everything's trying to come off the heels of Knives Out. And Knives Out had a better cast, a slightly younger cast in prime spots like your Evans and DeArmas stuff, as well as, classics like your Jamie Lee Curtis's of the world and whatnot. And, I think they got one-upped. And then on top of it, Rian Johnson turns around and makes Poker Face. And then there's all these other series that are coming out on top of, what was the one we mentioned? Which, by the way, a trailer came out for that one, too. I felt absolutely silly. Did you see the trailer for Murder at the End of the World for Hulu?
I did not yet.
It looks great. I'm really in. But I remember I said, like, there's no real information, and the description of the show wasn't exactly helpful. And I was like, but it sounded very kind of Clue-ish, right? Or Knives Out-ish. This is not a comedy by any stretch. This is like dark. And literally at the end of the world, it's like it looks like they're in like a mansion in Antarctica or something, like it's, Siberia. It's in the middle of the frozen tundra, and it looks good. And I trust Hulu or FX on Hulu, like any of those ones. They tend to make great shows. Case in point with you just finished out your Justified. City Primeval. And as far as Hulu shows, we keep watching Only Murders, which is getting pretty good at this point. Like I told you, it's on the rails. We're not quite there, but it's getting there. So I'm still in on that show. So yeah, they always make great stuff. So I'm interested in that show, and I recommend it. If you haven't seen the trailer, I definitely say check it out, because that's going to be a show we'll probably be looking at.
Talking about, right.
And I don't know. I would imagine they'll probably do week to week. Seems everything is week to week now.
Yeah, they're going back to the old format. Yeah,
it's Netflix, on that one horse, and then everybody else is like, nope, we're cable, bitch. I forgot to tell you, right. we're everybody's HBO, and then Netflix is like, cool, we'll take all the money, and our stock is way up, and we rebounded, and see you guys later. So that's the landscape of that. But yeah, so NUN 2 did not impress you. But we both caught some other movies. Theater Camp we caught on Hulu. Speaking of Hulu, this came out at the Sundance Film Festival this past year, and it seemed to get pretty solid reviews all the way around. This was something that has been on my watch list all year because I didn't get to catch it at Sundance. And the stuff I did watch at Sundance was dreadful. So, God, they really need to go back to doing more movies for the people watching online and not being in the actual theater, at the actual festival. But Theater Camp, what'd you think, Shane? This was something that I wouldn't have pegged as a Shane movie. And then you reminded me that it was on there, and then we both got to watch it. So it's a nice feeling. A little indie movie, not a lot of stars, and just something to get by.
Yeah, I actually wanted to see this in the theater, but it never came to Greensboro. The closest it came was like a town 30 minutes from here. I'm like, I'm not going to drive that to go see this.
Right.
And then I kind of forgot about it till I saw it on Hulu. I'm like, okay, Hulu. I really enjoyed these. I enjoy the, believe it or not, I know I don't seem the type, but I do enjoy these movies when they're done well. I like this ensemble cast. I like the camp aspect. It has her girl from Bottoms in it and the bear.
Yeah.
She seems to be everywhere now.
That's true. Yeah.
It's nothing like this movie, but it reminded me of I like movies like Red Hot American Summer.
Wet Hot. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Wet Hot American Summer. But I like movies in that ilk. Now, this is not that, but I do like that kind of familiarity with that kind of subject. So I find it quirky. I like the subject, even, you'd get it more if you were an actor or drama kid, because I think they nailed the essence of being
totally
that type of kid. I thought it was well written. It made me laugh, and it was to the point. I love Jimmy Tatro, who played Troy.
Son. Yeah.
Yes, I loved him from American Vandal on Netflix. That's where I remember him from.
Oh, okay. I never saw him. I never saw that.
You never saw American Vandal?
No, I didn't. No.
So anyway, if you like him from that, he kind of carries that over to this role here. There's something that just draws me into him for some reason. I find him unassumingly funny.
Right.
So yeah, I had a good time with this movie. It's exactly what I needed from the stuff we've kind of been sifting through here lately.
For sure. And yeah, and obviously Amy Sedaris is the matriarch. She doesn't get to do a whole lot, but she's honestly kind of the perfect person to put as this totem for what's going on. For anybody who doesn't know, basically Theater Camp is the eccentric staff of a rundown theater camp in upstate New York. Bands together with their beloved founder's broy son, as Shane so perfectly said, to keep the camp afloat. And they don't do a great job, but it's again, it's the spirit thing. It's kind of you're right. It has a smidge of Wet Hot American Summer and your improv-y type movies a little bit. It almost actually has, without doing the aside to camera thing, it has that pseudo documentary feel, you're
exactly
documentary now, and you're even Parks and Rec in The Office and stuff. I think it borrows a little bit of that feeling at least, and then lending it to a summer camp, obviously a theater camp for that. This is directed by Molly Gordon and Nick Lieberman, who are both in the film in prominent roles as the two kind of co-leads. It's a strong ensemble, so you don't want to kind of give them everything, but their relationship is a strong part of the movie. You also have Ben Platt trying to make, to me, a resurgence. That poor guy. If I remember correctly, that's the guy from Dear Evan Hansen, right?
Yes.
So, yeah, he needed a little bit of help. You mentioned Ayo Edebiri from The Bear and Bottoms. And then I also caught a few other guys who I like. But you have Noah Galvin here. You have, like you mentioned, the Jimmy Tatro. So there's some decent people in here for a nice little indie movie. And yeah, I would say I'm in the same camp as you. I enjoyed a lot of moments. There are certain things I like the most. I like a lot of the breakout classes that they had. I liked certain characters that they had going, and to me, it's like it was an enjoyable 3 on an afternoon of watching a movie at home. And there's not much more to elaborate, because again, it's either it works for you, like the humor and that style of like you said, it probably would get more if you were a drama kid or any of that stuff. So it'd mean a lot more to someone like that. But yeah, other than that, yeah, it's a solid movie. It's a solid recommend. It's not gonna be in my tops of the year or anything, but it was definitely worth checking out. So
I ended up giving it a 3.
Yeah,
I think that's what I gave it. So. And it's like you said, it's plain, simple, to the point, and there's worse things you can be doing with your time than watching theater camp.
Absolutely. So. And you also watched The Retirement Plan. Is that still in theaters? Did you check it out there?
I did. Just came out this week.
Okay. Yeah, so apparently not to a ton of fanfare. So give the people the lowdown on that one, because I don't know a ton about that one.
I was shocked. I saw a trailer for this a while back, and obviously, as I do most of the time, you forget about half the trailers you've seen.
Sure.
And I was struggling to find something to watch this week outside the Nun. And lo and behold, this movie came out Thursday. So I'm like, oh, here we go. I'm going to go see it. So this one stars Nicolas Cage. You have Ron Perlman, Jackie Earle Haley, and Ernie Hudson.
Oh, so, Ernie Hudson. Look at that.
Yeah. They're, decent cast. And basically, and I'll just read the synopsis from IMDb. You got when Ashley and your young daughter, Sarah, get caught up in a criminal enterprise that puts their lives at risk, she turns to her estranged father, Matt, currently living the life of retirement in the Cayman Islands. So Nicolas Cage is like an ex-CIA assassin, never met his granddaughter. His daughter gets in trouble at the beginning of the movie. She seeks him out and basically fends off Ron Perlman and Jackie Earle Haley from, they're putting the hit out on her for the information that she has. This movie, it wasn't like over the top Nicolas Cage, but it was an enjoyable Nicolas Cage. You could tell he's in his bag during these movies. He's having fun. If you're looking for just a nice, good, like action comedy, which is more action than comedy, but I had a really good time watching this movie.
Okay.
It was quick. It was quick. It knew what it was. And Nicolas Cage, just like you said, he's in his bag. And if you're a Nicolas Cage fan, this is right up your alley. Like, again, this movie is flying under the radar. Like you said, you didn't even know it was out. It's out now. I don't know how much it made.
Yeah.
Barely anything.
Yeah,
but
I doubt anything. Yeah, I didn't see it on the Box Office Mojo, and I think I scrolled through 10. So yeah, it's not good.
Right. So between Ron Perlman and Nicolas Cage, I had a good time here. The action was good. I would recommend. I gave it a 3.5 out of 5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that's good. I'm looking at it now, and God, I am far down, dude. I am not seeing much at all. God, even those like movies that I'm like, they don't even seem like real movies. Like Camp Hideout. I don't know if you saw or The Hill.
I did.
Some of the or The Inventor, Outlaw Johnny Black. Some of these like ones that are barely out or doing a platform release. Those all. You're talking barely 6 figures, and I still haven't seen the name of your movie. So all
man.
apologies. I guess it's not doing that well, or it's I don't know.
Well,
Maybe.
it's like you said, they didn't do anything to promote it. Like you didn't know it was coming out. It's not.
Sure.
They're not marketing it at all. So I will say this to you, fellow listeners out there: when it comes to Amazon Prime or whatever streaming service it comes to,
Right.
seek this movie out, because it is a just good old fashioned 90s action comedy movie with Nicolas Cage.
Speaking of Nicolas Cage, can you believe? And again, he did Pig a couple years ago, and then he did Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, and people were like, Nick Cage, man, he's on a resurgence. Nick Cage is back. Here we are. He's got 6 movies this year. 6. Now, granted, one of them is The Flash, which is an uncredited kind of like,
right.
He doesn't speak, I don't even think, or whatever. So it's kind of not counting. So even if you don't count that, 5, which one to kind of still come out in mass, which is by all accounts going to be the best one. So because it's been in the festival circuit, I want to see this really bad. Have you heard of Dream Scenario?
I have, actually.
Yeah, it sounds very Charlie Kaufman-esque, and I'm all about it because it's bizarre as shit. Just to get, did you watch? We covered Renfield.
Yeah,
I did not watch Sympathy for the Devil, even though that kind of I knew it came out, and I still didn't check it out. And then Retirement Plan, as you noted, just came out, and then the Flash thing, and then The Old Way, which I only saw as like kind of straight to streaming. I don't think it was straight to streaming, but it didn't do much out if it did at all. So. Yeah, and probably all of them are around that 5.5 to 6.5 for all of them. But Dream Scenario currently holds an 8.3.
Okay.
So that's super high. So for anyone who doesn't know, keep an eye out for Dream Scenario, because this is just amazing. They list it as a horror comedy, which I didn't really know too much of the horror aspect of it. But this is, like I said, of course, Nicolas Cage, about a hapless family man who finds his life turned upside down when millions of strangers suddenly start seeing him in their dreams. When his nightmare appearances take a nightmarish turn, Paul is forced to navigate his newfound stardom. So basically, everybody starts dreaming about Nicolas Cage, who is like, I believe, a professor in this for evolutionary biology or something for that. And yeah, all these people all at once have a dream about Nicolas Cage. Obviously not him, but his character, Paul Matthews. And so that sounds, it's this weird satirical movie that it just sounds right up the alley. And it's co-produced. This might hurt you, Shane. It's co-produced by Ari Aster. So... I'm hoping for your sake, I hope it's a little different than that. But yeah, I find this to be endlessly fascinating. So I can't wait. It says it has a release date of November 10th. So I will definitely be keeping an eye out for that, especially with a 77 Metascore. That's, again, very high for something that even is remotely comedy. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. Before we get to TV, I do want to kind of just run it. I'm going to run it through, even though I know the answer. I want everyone to hear it. Shout it out here, Shane, for me. Back me up, dude. You saw Bottoms. Help me out.
Yeah, oh boy.
You hated this movie more than I did.
Yeah, I gave it, off the top, it's probably the worst movie I've seen all year. I gave it a half a star. A half.
Wow.
Not even a full star. A half a star. This movie, because I heard you talk about it the previous week, and then I'm reading all the critic scores from it and all the fan scores from it, and I'm sitting there trying to wrap my head around why it's getting these high marks.
Right.
I really don't. And I'm not kidding. I didn't laugh once. I didn't chuckle one time. I thought everything was over the top and just dumb.
Yeah, like I told you, the
dumb.
everybody's crazy effect. It's like it doesn't work.
Yeah. Like the football players walking around their cleats and shoulder pads. I was over that gag within the first 5 minutes of the movie. They shifted their storyline from trying to lose their virginity to they hurt one of the football players, so they start this club. It just was the best part of this movie is Marshawn Lynch.
Absolutely.
Sorry.
Sure.
Best part, the only saving grace of this movie. And the lead actress just reminded me of a discount Emily Rossum from Shameless. Just not a good-looking version of her.
Well,
you know what
I mean, Rachel Sennett's very attractive, but not in this particular scenario.
Right.
Yeah.
Just none of the jokes landed. Like you said, then it turned into like the rival football teams come in, which only fielded 9 players, by the way. I don't know how they would have football games.
You, of course, would notice that. That's
right. I did.
That's an excellent observation.
But no, like other movies have like just done satirical dark comedy better, a la Heathers, and this movie again was humorless, was so bad, and I don't understand how it's going to be a cult classic. In fact, I wrote down a bunch of stuff because I was the only one in the theater for a little bit until like 6 other college-age kids came in.
Right.
And maybe this is who the movie was written for, and that's all I'll say about the cast that came in. Andrew, I'm not kidding. They laughed at every fucking line.
I know. I tell
that
you.
was being thrown out.
That's why I was so happy to hear from you after it happened. You're like, I want to walk out, but I'm going to stick it out for you.
I mean, seriously, like, I wanted to stand up halfway through the movie and ask these people, what are they laughing at? Like, what are they laughing at?
Right.
Because none of the jokes landed. I don't get it. I don't understand it, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't either. Shout out to our friends at Mike, and Oscar, who I was listening. I don't know if you listen to podcasts when you go to bed or any of these things. I do, and I happened to wake up in the middle of the night where my podcast thing was still playing. I didn't set the timer for it, and I woke up in the middle of the night to our buddy, also Mike from Mike, and Oscar, going, "Yeah, I saw Bottoms again. Some people don't like it," and then they're like, "Yeah, Andrew from Recent Activity, we know what you're talking about." And so it's like, well, now I got Shane also from Recent Activity.
Yeah,
so
it's like the worst '80s movie. It reminded me of the worst '80s movie in every way possible.
Yes, but like. And again, we've talked about this before where, you know, I was having my hemorrhage before you saw the movie, so I don't remember if you remember you remember all my takes or all my issues. But like basically, you know, the thoughts of like, all right, well, I've seen Better Off Dead, or I've seen, you know, Napoleon Dynamite.
It can't handle to those movies.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I couldn't take how it's just not grounded to anything. It's just all diarrhea of the mouth. Yeah.
And I was writing I won't belabor my point anymore because this movie doesn't deserve much talk time.
Sure.
But remember the scene where the 2 friends, they all fought and they went their separate ways, where the one girl was eating a can of SpaghettiOs in the bleachers. The people next to me were laughing so hysterical at that part.
Yeah.
And the joke she made about the black Republican friend, you know, the bigger black chick.
Yeah.
You're like a black Republican. They thought that was like Louis C.K.'s best material. They were laughing so hard.
Right.
And it wasn't funny. Like, it wasn't funny.
No. And they don't follow up on that. There's no like characterization of that. They just throw it out there. This is my point. Every single joke was like, this would be funny if we said this, and it's not based in anything. And I'm not saying, again, I've seen enough goofy, weirdo movies. I laugh at a lot of them, but a lot of them have basis for what you're setting up. There's no setup. It's just a bunch of punchlines that try to just beat you to death. And there's not enough, and there's not enough good ones that go with it. And I have to have some characters to ride or die with, or at least I have to get what they're satirizing, any of it. Like, I remember somebody mentioned Not Another Teen Movie in their review of this, and I was like, what are you talking about? Like, Not Another Teen Movie is like an add-on to like your scary movies and your other thing, like in that universe. This has nothing in common with that at all, besides the fact that it was in a high school where you get to make fun of certain tropes. But even then, they're not making fun of it out of something that exists. They're literally, I told you, like the football team, like where it's like people are going to get murdered. What?
Yeah.
And there's no cops on the field or security. We just let this happen every year. Okay.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree with everything you said.
Yeah.
And I just sat there getting angrier and angrier as this movie was going on. And I'll never understand it, man. I don't think it's going to be like Napoleon Dynamite where I could watch it a year from now or 5 years and like, oh, I get it now.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry.
But I'll tell you,
Not gonna
it'll
get it.
probably end up on Comedy Central in a year, and you'll be like,
Ugh.
God damn, are you fucking serious that this is going to have life and legs like this? And you're going to roll your
Yep.
eyes, and so will I. So at least I have a friend
Ugh.
in our misery. So that's
Absolutely,
good.
brother.
Yeah. All right. So with how delightful we've been at the movie range, let's switch over to TV a little bit, and let's talk about The Changeling, which was on our list of like things we're looking forward to in the upcoming fall slate of TV shows, especially in the wake of during, I should say. I wish it was the wake of the SAG and writer strike and all the things that are affecting TV release dates and movie release dates and everything else. So at least we have something to point to. The Changeling is LaKeith Stanfield starring, and it's a very unique show. Some people will give it a little. It definitely has almost Shyamalan or David Lynchian type vibes at times. Because it's kind of, you've only seen the pilot, the first episode, but it's kind of a movie that does a lot of time jumps, a lot of different alternate timelines in different eras, including starting off with a very overly CGI'd boat coming from Norway to the U.S. that hasn't been fully realized, and I'm more episodes in than you are. I think it's only going to be 8 episodes. It's based on, I guess, a popular novel of some sort, as most Apple TV ones tend to be, where it's like, let's get a high-profile star, let's get a high-profile book, and let's kind of just let the chips fall where they may. And also, the narrator of the story is also the author of the book. I don't think I've ever seen that before.
Okay.
That was interesting to me. But the show is basically, like I said, it has a little bit of horror, a little bit of fantasy, drama, kind of it's a weird show to describe to someone, but the description that they have is set in an alternate New York City. A father and husband searches through a magical world for his abducted son and missing wife. And I will tell you, as a person who is through the first 3 episodes, and they've only released 4 with the 5th one coming out on Friday, the show doesn't really have a lot of what they mentioned in yet. Yes, the abducted son and missing wife is a part of it still at this point, but even all of that doesn't happen in the first episode. So and the fact that they claim it to be an alternate New York City, I don't see that yet either. And like I said, I'm 3 episodes in of an 8-episode series, so there is some TBD here. I like it. And I'm engrossed by it. I think it's a gorgeous show to look at. I think the performances are all good. While I am mixed on some things with LaKeith Stanfield off acting, I think he's an incredible actor. And he plays a really interesting character with a lot of great hats in Apollo that they have. You haven't watched enough episodes to kind of see the progression of the hats, but the hats are quite unique.
Okay.
And everything is a hat. And it's wonderful. It's all those like he's Steve Zissou, like Bill Murray's Life Aquatic character, like those little like seaman hats kind of thing. It's very interesting. But I like this show. It's because, again, it's just bizarre enough to have me watch, and it's engrossing enough and well acted enough. But I think it is a little, I've read some of the negative reviews, and I'm curious to see where your head's at after episode 1. It is, I will admit, is messy. It does jump around a lot. And for some people, they found it way too boring and slow and wanted to kind of fast forward through a lot of it to try to get to the, quote, good parts. This show is definitely a slow burn. Yeah. So I don't know if it's going to be successful. I don't, especially with, LaKeith Stanfield's a good name, but he's not a carry your show kind of name. And I don't think Apple particularly gives a crap, quite honestly. So they usually like to throw out their stuff and kind of see where it goes. But to me, like I said, 3 episodes in, I'm watching, but I'm cautious, but I'm enjoying myself enough. How about you after episode 1?
Yeah, based on the first episode, I could understand why people would jump ship, because it is a very slow burn that you have to kind of pay attention to. But it left me with enough intrigue after the first episode where I'm going to probably just watch the remaining episodes of this show.
Sure.
it does have Shyamalan, to me, influence. That's what I thought about when I was watching this episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't see the alternate New York City yet, obviously. And they do jump back and forth for when he was a kid and his mom and what he's going through. Now, I found his character kind of creepy in some parts, like a little pushy and aggressive with him, courting that young lady in the library and stuff like that.
Yeah. Which they
so
throw back to his dad too. It's like a family trait of sorts, I guess.
Yeah, it's like a family trait of sorts. So I found that a little alarming for some reason. It kind of like bothered me just a little bit. And how forward he was.
Well, they call it out. They say, like, some people would call this stalking, but she called it persistence, and that's exactly it. It's the baby, it's cold outside of approach.
But I like him as an actor, but enough to carry the show. We'll see. I'm in, but I can understand where people would watch the pilot, and I always tell people just watch more than one episode, please. But I could understand how they would pull the plug or be like, you know what? I'll watch this when I get around to it and there's nothing else on. But for me, it's enough mystery I want to see where the story's progressing. So I'm in on this one.
Yeah.
And like you said, I wrote this down as well. Like Apple, for good or bad, I think all their shows are really, really well produced. And I like the look of this show. Like you said, it's a very well produced show.
Yeah.
I like the settings. And so for me, I'm going to stick around for it.
Yeah. Apple's basically trying to be the old HBO model where it's like it's always well funded, always looks great. They don't do like a ton of like cheapo shows just to have content. Like they really kind of, I wouldn't say they eventize because they really don't, but I would say that they don't have enough shows to where when a show does come, it pops more because people are like, ooh, new Apple TV Plus show. Versus the fire hose of a Netflix or the like.
And that's what I tell my clients when we talk about Apple TV. And I said, right now, they don't go for quantity; they go for quality. So they don't have a ton of original content, but what they do have is quality TV. Like I can't name you a bad, quote unquote, bad Apple show where I'm like, that was garbage. At the very minimum, even shows like Physical or Servant, they're watchable. They're not bad. You know what I mean?
Did you end up watching the Seth Rogen show that came out?
I'm halfway through and I enjoyed it. It's just one of those shows I
heard nothing, and that sometimes happens with the Apple TV selection as well.
It's very watchable. I think I got halfway through the first season, and not because I didn't like it, but with, in our field and what we'd like to do, sometimes I lose track of shows I started watching because I'm watching other shows. You know what I mean? Like,
absolutely.
It keeps getting pushed down the pyramid a little bit. But Platonic is the one you were talking about.
Correct. Yeah. So
Rose Byrne and Seth Rogen, they have chemistry. It's a quality show. I cannot name you a bad. I just can't name a bad Apple show. Right. Sorry.
Yeah, because again, like you said, they take big swings. So even if they don't work, you kind of admire it. It is at that stage right now. But again, it's only got a 6.6 on IMDb, and I honestly get it. But I'm hoping that as this progresses, that there is some larger point that you can kind of go back and be one of those shows where you're kind of being a little Easter eggy, or kind of go back and go, oh, they set this up here doing this, and be one of those kind of puzzle box shows in a sense. But yeah, I'm not seeing a ton of the fantasy outside of there's, kind of a witch woman in Brazil that's kind of set some of this along. The horror thing, again, not as solid, just in more of a tone and a creepy atmosphere that develops with it. So it was just kind of almost just a interlaying family drama with some kind of mystical stuff in the dreams, and then, like I said, a slow burn in terms of kind of the more creepier aspects that keep on going. But like I said, they're only through 4. They're halfway done. I'm only through 3, and I'm going to keep going. In fact, after this, I might probably fire up episode 4 to get prepared for Friday's episode 5. So there we go. So I would say it's a cautious optimistic recommend at this stage. Right. So if anybody has Apple TV Plus or is stealing their neighbors or what have you, go for it and enjoy that. As far as I just want to put out there that as far as streaming stuff is concerned, my latest review, or what's on Netflix for Love at First Sight with Haley Lou Richardson that came out over the weekend, was a play of my play, pause, or stop. And it was shocking because Netflix has straight sucked at anything romantic comedy, any of those interlaying kind of things all year long. So I had no hope for this movie, and I ended up enjoying it. So if anybody's looking for something in that vein, something a little light, I will say it's a bring your tissues movie. It's not a strong, like, I don't know, like tragic death kind of thing or anything, but this one, it has everything. It has a little bit for everybody. It's a little bit of drama, a little bit of romance, a little bit of humor, and a very deep, good cast. So I would say check that out on Netflix, and check out my review on what's on netflix.com, and, go in the comment section, tell me how much of an idiot I am, or that I just like Haley Lou Richardson too much, or whatever you want to say. That's fine by me. She was also an executive producer on the movie, so, she had skin in the game. So she's doing well. So I don't think it's going to bother her one bit. As far as this weekend, Shane, it's looking like the Shane Bowl. Because
Yes.
we as Jets fans are just we're dead. We're dead in the water. They sunk our battleship very early, even though we won week 1. So it's all over unless we get some magical quarterback. And God help us all if Tom Brady takes the phone call and and actually decides to put on a Jets uniform. That would be all I would need. That would be just fold me mentally. Fold the tents, man. Just it's over. But for you, sir, it's the amazing choice of Expendables 4 out in the movie theaters, and then you can come right home and watch the beginning of the Continental, the John Wick miniseries. So are you looking forward to one over the other? Is it just a all pants off weekend for you? What's going on with that?
It's an all pants off weekend, buddy.
Yeah.
It's an all, and I make no apologies for my love of the Expendables franchise. I don't care what anyone
We get
says.
what it is. Although this one, and maybe you could tell me otherwise with part 3, it looks a little cheaper. Like the budget isn't quite there. Although it's all stars, but like the action itself, I was like, ooh, that looked very CGI. Like, bad.
Listen, man, when you add 50 Cent as one of your main actors for this series, I'll just leave it at that. The third one took a big step back compared to the first two, but man, listen, I have a soft spot for these guys, Statham and Sly. I mean, it is what it is. Like you said, you know what you're getting into. This is right up my alley. I just want to have fun, and hopefully, I'll get my wish out of this, man. Even 50 Cent excluded, like the addition of Tony Jaa and Dolph Lundgren being back. I just, So in the Continental, I'm looking for. I think that could be surprisingly good. So the world of John Wick, we'll see.
Yeah, I always shudder when they're like, it's a prequel. It's like, ooh, it's set in New York in the 1970s, so it's gonna be super cool, and it's gonna be
right.
And they ended up, of something you love because you love the character, you kind of love the universe, and they're just like, all right, well, what if we took one old character and made him young, and then we'll just show his version of everything? It's like, do I care? Do I care enough?
So. You're saying you got like the Alfred vibes. Remember, didn't they make an Alfred show?
Yeah, Pennyworth, right? Pennyworth.
Pennyworth,
yeah,
right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of in that vein. Do we really need to see Alfred's backstory when he was a young, up-and-coming butler?
No, we don't.
No, not really.
No.
So yeah, I kind of do get those vibes from this.
That's a great call.
but again, it's what's it, Peacock, right?
Yeah, because it's all part of the Universal stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So listen, man. With the choices we have now, I'm willing to throw this a lifeline and see what it's about, because as we've discussed, pickings, it's getting slim pickings out there, my friend.
Yeah.
As far as like what we're watching, so why not?
Yeah, I mean, I gotta say, of course, I'm not into the Expendables ones. I would have to do some major catch up because I think I just saw the first one and that was it. So it would be that kind of a thing, but. When I'm looking ahead, we kind of did some previewing last time where it's like, all right, we have the Changeling, that's once a week. We have the Continental. I think, are they doing it like it's a mini series? I don't remember their release schedule though, whether it's like a weekly or whether they're doing it day after day for like a weekend.
It's strange. I don't know either, because Peacock's like Amazon. I've noticed like there's certain series will drop everything so you can stream all at once.
Right.
Or like Poker Face, it's once a week. So I don't know the format of the Continental.
And I totally forgot that Mel Gibson is in this show too, which is wild. Yeah, it looks like week to week for 3 weeks. So it's just 3 episodes. So this weekend, next weekend, the weekend after. So that'll be interesting. Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, it's an interesting thought, and we'll see. I'm sure it'll hold my attention enough to get through 1 episode a week for 3 weeks. That's nothing.
Right.
We're sitting here. I led with hating Ahsoka, and I'm still watching every single week. So I think I'm gonna watch the Continental.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is it any worse than the Star Wars slop we've been watching over the last year and a half, 2 years?
It is
no,
not. God, and I know it's a bigger topic for another day, but I had like a lengthy conversation with some people off air about Disney Plus as like a thing, and like if we're all getting superhero fatigue, and like Star Wars isn't really producing the big hits. Like I remember them saying the Ahsoka numbers were closer to Andor, and obviously that was considered bomb-ish. Bomb adjacent with that show. So is that petering out too? And if those are your 2 tentpole things between that and Pixar, which Elemental had to have legs because of a soft kid movie summer that didn't have a ton of competition. If those are your 3 main components to your business, and you bet all like most of it on streaming to start for a while there, like are you dying? Are you dying that quickly? Like Disney Plus isn't even that old.
No.
And I mean, I'm looking forward to Loki season 2, but if you ask me to name something that I'm looking forward to that's coming out for them, even in theaters or streaming, I'd be like, I don't know, Disney. I don't know. I really don't know.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
And I'm a fucking nerd,
Loki,
Shane.
Yeah, outside of Loki too, I got nothing for Disney Plus, man. Like,
yeah, I don't care about
a little
Echo.
bit for me, because I kind of do, because of the whole Daredevil connection, which I don't even know if he's going to be in this series at all. But
I'm sure likely
street
he
level.
will. There's no way he's not.
Right.
I can't.
So anything that has Charlie Cox playing Daredevil in Matt Murdock in the Disney series, I'm going to give a watch.
If he is, they better start producing promos now, where he just pops up at the end and goes, "Hello," just like whatever. Just something to give to. Because isn't she's deaf, right? Echo.
Yes. Yep.
So okay. We'll get there.
Yeah.
And then, Percy Jackson, I still need to see some kind of proof that it doesn't look dreadful or whatever, and go towards that. I'm interested, but I'm not fully there. But, yeah, other than that, hard.
Yeah, I know.
Hard out there. But we did get trailers for Gen V, so I'm interested in that. It's basically like the boys' version of New Mutants.
So that's what I thought too.
We'll see. It looks exactly like that. I found the incredible shrinking woman that they had in there, where like she was having literally a blood bath in someone's ear. I think at one point it's wholeheartedly a boys show. So we'll see. There are characters from the actual boys in it too, and everything else. So we'll see. But it looks fun enough. I'm sure that's week to week too, and everything else. Let's go. It's fine. So September, like you said, is going to be the hot point. We'll get Loki in the Fall House Usher in October. Then, Murder at the End of the World and whatever Echo is in November. And then we'll just all, go into our holiday haze and just never come out in December. So that'll be good. Great job by you. Anything else you want to get off your chest before we get on out of here?
No, that's about it. I think we covered a lot of ground tonight, my friend. A lot of ground.
All right, man. Well, I'm glad to see your pants are on at the moment. Enjoy your pants off
For this week
weekend.
they are, yes.
Your pants off weekend. Enjoy that. You need a quick rebound from watching The Nun 2 and Bottoms and some other things that may have not worked out. So, excellent job. Everybody, check us out on the socials at Recent Act Pod. Be sure to like and subscribe and do all the things, and give us a nice 5-star review if you don't mind. And we'll be back with more recent activity.